Hi. This class is a good class to do for lower back pain and for issues that may stem from lower back pain going down into your piriformis, your iliac, and psoas muscles too. So I'm doing this class in honor for my dad, and so I hope, Dad, you get a good stretch with this sequence, and then for anyone else that wants to do more of a therapeutic class, this is great. This is especially for all of us that are sitting a lot during this time of quarantine, just for everyday stretches. So we're going to begin. All these stretches are the floor, or you can do these stretches on your bed. They are able to do with different modifications, so I will show you with that. And like I said, you could do these in the morning, in the evening, whenever you feel the need to stretch or to release energy around that lower back and legs. So we're going to roll down. We're going to start on our backs, full body stretch with arms up overhead, shoulders pulled down, and you can see that I'm pointing my toes and I'm getting a nice little arch in the back of my lower back. We call this a passive back bend, making sure the shoulders are down, chin is reaching towards the heart center. And we close our eyes and we're just going to feel our breath. As you inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. So from this passive back bend, full body stretch, we're going to take our soles of our feet down, tuck the tailbone under, and bring the knees into the chest and squeeze the knees in. So we're counter stretching into that lower back. If you wish, in this pose, in the double wind release pose, you can rock from side to side to give your lower back and middle back and upper back a little massage, rocking back and forth, trying to squeeze those knees. So as you squeeze the knees into the chest, you're pulling the abdominal muscles in. And then again, we're going to lower the feet, slide the feet all the way down, arch the back, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and you're going to do a full body stretch again. Toes are pointed. A couple of deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. You can hold these positions as long as you want, but for the length of the video, I'm just going to move through each posture. You can always pause. And again, we're going to exhale. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet down, tuck the tailbone under. You want to feel the small of the back against the floor, and you're going to exhale both knees into the chest. So from this position, you're trying to squeeze the knees into the chest. Some people might need to open the knees up a little bit around their bellies, but it's still the same type of posture, and you can rock from hip to hip. And breathe, inhaling and exhaling. From here, from the double wind release pose, you're going to bring your feet down and you're going to separate the feet a little wider than the hips. Arms are out, and you're just going to flop both knees down towards one side, as we call this wipers, and breathe. So you're going to feel a nice little stretch up here in the iliac, in the side of the waist. And again, if you can't get the legs down this far, You can length as far as you can. Sometimes if you want to hold it for a period of time, you can place the pillow here. And just breathe. And we're going to lift the legs up and we're going to wiper them over to the other side. And you're going to hold and breathe, trying to work. Every time you exhale, you're trying to press further down and mindful of the kneecaps. Inhale up, exhaling, twisting over to the other side. So it gives us a little twist in the lower back. Keeping the shoulders on the earth. Inhale and coming up and over to the other side. And then up. And then over to the other side. And last one over to our right or wherever. You're just making sure you're getting even stretch and bringing the legs back to center. We're bringing the legs down, knees up towards the ceiling. Heels are pointing towards the sit bone. Hands down to the side. We're going to peel the lower back off. So I'm going to lift the tailbone up, using and pressing down on my feet. Lifting up to the shoulders, feeling the shoulders flat against the earth, and then I'm going to roll from the upper back, middle back, lower back down. So they're little bridges, or we can think of them as pelvic tilts. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So not only is this helping with the back, it works with our quads. And it's abdominal work. Inhaling, and as you exhale, squeezing the abdominal muscles in. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. You always are trying to feel the four corners of your feet against the mat, against the floor, or against the bed. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Okay, so you can do maybe 5 to 10. And from here, we're going to roll over onto our side. So you're going to take yourself and roll all the way over. And we're going to come onto our stomach. And we're going to do reverse body stretch. So we're going to try to bring the arms up overhead. Point the toes, allow the arms to reach out. And just feel your breath against the floor. Just get your body stretched. We're trying to reach those shoulders up. Inhaling and X. Toes are pointed. Pelvis is against the earth. And then we're going to slide our forearms down. Elbows underneath the shoulders, and we're going to lift ourselves up into what we call the Sphinx. So you're just lifting up. Now for some people this might be a high lift. You might be a little lower. You might bring your arms out a little further so the elbows aren't underneath the shoulder but out a little bit, because this might feel more comfortable, not of a large of an arch of the back, but we're trying to press the pelvis against the earth and working on curling the spine. So we're giving it into a back bending feeling of the spine. You're always reaching out through your feet, thinking on, you're pointing those toes, allowing the energy, if you had like strings on your toes, to pull even further, stretching and lengthening the legs. And then you're going to come back down. So you could take this even deeper in a back bend stretch into a little cobra where the hands are underneath the shoulders and you're sliding your forehead, your nose, your chin, like you're a snake slithering forward and gently lifting up and rolling the shoulders back. So again, this is more of a back bend to the back. So you're being mindful of what feels comfortable for your back, and also You're bringing more weight to the pelvis and to the legs. And lifting up, bringing those shoulders away from the ears. So you get to see which type of back bend for you feels good. Into this little cobra, into a sphinx where elbows are underneath the shoulders, or into a sphinx where the elbows are pulled a little bit further. And breathe. And coming from here, we're going to do another back bending. We're going to bring the arms down to the side, and we're going to just lift the head and shoulders up. Just lifting. Keeping the neck in line with the spine. And then release. And then you're just going to try to see if you can lift your legs up. If you can't lift both legs, you're going to do one leg at a time. Lift. 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 Try both. So you're pressing down on the pelvic bone against the floor. If you wish to lift everything, this is a big strengthening into the back muscles. You're actually thinking someone's pulling your legs and your hands back towards the back of the room that you're positioned in. The flying locust. So this is using a lot of back muscles. This is too much. Like I said, you would take it down and just first trying to lift up through the shoulders and down, one leg at a time, using into the glutes, and then both legs, and then release. So to counter stretch this pose, we're going to reach ourselves up. You're going to push yourself up, get onto your hands and knees. You're going to open up your legs really wide. You can place a pillow here to fall over, to come into a wide child's pose, trying to get your tailbone down towards your heels. This is big hip opener too, but it counter stretches that back bend that you just did with the sphinx, the cobra, and the locust, flying locust. And so you're going to breathe and feel the curve of the spine. This is great into stretching into the shoulders. If it's too much for the shoulders, you can bring the hands down and just relax. And then you're going to come up. So we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. And you're going to lift the tailbone up, drop the belly, lift the chest up, and lift your head. So this is, again, a back bending pose. You're going to tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button in towards the spine, round the back, and bring the chin towards your chest. And then again, you're going to lift the tailbone up, drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, lift the head up, and then exhale. Tuck the tailbone, curl the belly up, button up into the spine, and let the head drop. And come back. Now, to get up, if you're on the bed, you would just crawl yourself off the bed and let the legs drop, one leg at a time, and then push yourself up off the bed. If this is hard for you to get up off the floor, you can crawl over to a support, face the support, press your hands on it, walk it up as you come up, taking one leg up, push against the support, and another leg up, okay, to come up. Or if you're able to, from this position, you can always, more advanced would be going back, pushing yourself back into a downward dog, one heel down at a time, stretching through, and walking the feet up towards the hands. If you're using the wall, you can come over to the wall
And to get a better angle, my video photographer is going to move over to this side of the room so you can see what I'm doing. You are going to place yourself hand distance apart against the wall. You're going to walk yourself back. You can soften your knees if you need to as you come into this half jackknife into the wall, and working the legs further back, coming more into a downward dog feeling. But you don't have to go all the way to the floor to do a downward dog. You can come up and do a half stretch this way, or a half forward bend, a jackknife, and feeling that stretch. You're going to make sure that you pull up through the abdominal muscles. The abdominal muscles are tight, so you're not getting a sway back into the lower back. You're pulling back and stretching into these the hamstring muscles and feeling this nice stretch. Breathing. You walk your hands up the wall. Still move yourself a couple of inches away from the wall, feet hip width apart, and do little push-ups. Inhale, exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale and exhale. So little push-ups to work with the upper body and again with your core. The further back your legs are, the harder the push-up will be. Okay, the more you're bringing into your upper body and pushing. So from here, modification of doing a forward bend is that you're taking the tailbone and you're putting it against your support, which is the wall. You're allowing your legs to flow forward, and you're just going to dangle forward. You can bend the knees if you need to, and just grab your arms and let yourself hang, using the wall as a support. And then rolling up. All the way up, you take your hands, you're going to push it out to let your pelvis move away from the wall. Knees are bent. You can try doing this with the hands on the lower back and reaching one arm up and reaching out as you're arching, and then take the tailbone and pull it back to the wall using your core, and bring the hands back and again push against the wall. Right hand to the lower back, left arm's reaching up. So you're doing these little arches, upward salute, pushing the tailbone against, going back down. So you're counter stretching from a forward bend. And again, you don't have to drop the head. If you have heart issues or you have periods of dizziness, you can come into half jackknife, roll yourself up, push yourself away from the wall. You can try to arch both arms and touching and bringing them to the wall and feeling into this arch. Knees can be bent. You're lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders back, then exhaling, coming all the way again back, and then rolling up the spine, reaching yourself up. You're going to come to the center of your mat, standing high up into mountain pose, tailbone tucked, shoulders back and down, thumbs are forward, and you're just going to try to sway from feet to feet, just feeling your body sway. The importance of this mountain pose is that you're using your core muscle, tucking the tailbone under, shoulders are up, back and down, fingertips are forward. This is the common stance that you should be standing throughout the day, and how we even would walk. So if we're walking, we'd be walking heel toe, thumbs forward, shoulders up and back, and lifting the legs up. You can just practice this in a stationary position just to get the feel of how it feels to keep that tailbone tucked, chest up, belly in, so that your body, brain muscle memory can sort of pick this up every day as if you're practicing. So when you're actually walking, you can keep readjusting yourself with that. So from here, this is a short sequence to do several times a day to loosen up the lower back and to create strength and endurance in the back muscles and in your abdominal muscles, in your arms, and in your legs. So I hope you find this beneficial, and we're going to end with a little namaste.